beard, clipped short, is graying. He appears very large and solid, but slim, in a black merino sweater and charcoal gray slacks. At first, he stands at the foot of the bed, hands clasped below his belt buckle. He sits down on a chair by the head of the bed and reaches over the rails to place his hand on Norm's forehead. Matt's face freezes at the sight of Norm's open mouth. It is a red hole through which his tongue pokes, yellow, caked in a giraffe skin-like pattern of dried mucus. "Jesus, Dad," he says. "You look atrocious." Norm breathes. "We always spoke our minds, so there's nothing left to say," Matt says. He waits. He takes Norm's left hand. "Goodbye, Dad," he says. "I love you." He lowers his forehead to the bed railing and remains motionless, dry-eyed, for 2 minutes. He stands and leaves without speaking to Amalia or Penny. Penny sits by Norm until deep in the night. A week later, without another peep of complaint, Norm stops dying. Penny is holding his hand. There is no sound. At one moment he is dying audibly, each breath quick, forced, harsh, through whistle-like apertures in the material blocking his windpipe. The next moment he is still. She glances at the window and sees gratefully that it is open. She becomes aware that humans have souls. These are slender birds like swifts, invisible and made of moist living breath. When a person dies, this bird urgently requires free passage to the sky. In essence, if Norm hadn't smelled so horrible that she'd had to open a window in summer and let in the humidity, his soul would have been trapped in his library forever, unable to join the other souls. She doesn't believe in this soul thing at all. She just knows it all of a sudden. She places his left hand on his chest. She sits and stares at the rotting body in its leaky diaper for a quarter of an hour. She leaves the room and closes the door. Seeing a flower arrangement on the side table in the front hall, she removes a few flowers. She goes back to the library and lays them on Norm's chest. They help, she thinks. Flowers really help. The dead thing looks a lot better with flowers on it. She makes herself 2 espressos in a row, using the ultra-fast pod machine, and calls Amalia at work. "Don't do anything," Amalia says. "I'll be right there. Call that nurse and tell him not to come anymore. Tell the hospice agency to pick up that nasty bed." Penny drives out to buy groceries with altered perceptions. She breezes through a stop sign and almost misses her turn-off. In the store, the very ugliest white people seem beautiful to her, their red noses and inflamed pimples alive with oxygen-saturated hemoglobin. At the deli counter, she gets in line for pastrami, but lasts only a few seconds, phased by cold cuts embalmed in nitrate solution and mummified ham. She pushes her cart to the cereal aisle and buys a box of post-raisin bran. She drives back to her parents' house. She carries the box to the dining room table, where she rapidly spoons cereal into her mouth, savoring the blend of crispy vegetable matter and purest white cane sugar. She enjoys the feel of her own firm gums and smooth teeth. Amalia comes home from work early, around 5, because of the special occasion. Halfway through the box of raisin bran, Penny puts down her spoon and says to her mother, "They could have let Dad sleep through all that. Everybody knows people are animals, only smarter. It's wrong to torture any animal, even for its own good, especially then. But instead of giving him real drugs, they kept wanting him to be alert, so he could make his peace with God. I always thought religious people were massively annoying. Now I know they're evil." She shovels in a big spoonful of